All right, gang. We are picking this up live. Give me one moment here as I learn how to. This is not the screen I want to share. One moment, guys and gals. Electric opening, I know. Move this up here so I'm looking at you guys. I think I'm live. What's up? What's up? All right. I think what I need to do is I don't know why StreamYard doesn't give me the option to share my second screen, but let's try this. Let's try turning off one of my monitors because I'm trying to share my big screen with you guys so that I can show you. All right, now we'll put the draft boards down here. That's what we'll have to do. All right. So draft board 1. We're doing 2 FFPC best ball drafts right now. God, this is being very annoying to move. Don't know why it's not moving for me. For anyone just discovering my channel, my name is Liam Murphy. I have won 3 best ball tournaments before. What is going on with this draft board? Why can't I move it? Good question. My background is not a Buffalo Bill always Nez. That is just I have like the random Windows background and it happened to be a Buffalo today. So give me 1 second here. I survived the hurricane. Let me turn this shirt inside out. Off stream. No free marketing on this channel. I will wear your shirt though if you send me it. All right. So we're going to have to, as you can tell, I'm just going live here without. What is going on here with this one? I think I found it. This is being very annoying. Come on, mouse. Oh, it's because it's down. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm trying to fit both of these on the screen for you on my actual laptop screen rather than my massive monitor. So what you're looking at right now is 2 FFPC best ball drafts. This is a tight end premium format, meaning that it's PPR. It is 1.5 points per reception for the tight ends. And as I get associated here, one of the clocks is a 30-second timer. Which one am I need to click out here? One moment here as I make a pick. Let's just take a third tight end over here. Get a starter. Doesn't seem like a bad pick. So on one of the drafts, we have a CMC, Devontae Adams, Josh Allen, Christian Watson, Ken Walker, John Dotson, Jordan Addison, Dalton Kincaid, David Njoku, Traylon Burks, Rashad Penny, Tyler Algier, Sam Howell, Kendrick Miller, Tyler Boyd, Cade Otton start. And on the other one, we have a Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews, again, it's tight end premium, Lamar Jackson, Christian Watson, Ken Walker, J.K. Dobbins, Jahan Dotson, Brandon Cooks, Brian Robinson, Jalen Warren, Juwan Johnson start. This is $200,000 to first place. It is $125 to enter. From my experience, the drafts are pretty wild. Also, some weird behavior we're seeing here where I have named all of my team names. All I need is 1. All I need is 2. All I need is 3. All I need is 4, etc. And if I make this screen bigger here, you can see I named my team All I Need is 20. And either a fan or I don't know, this guy named his All I Need is 21, which is bizarre. And it did confuse me for a second. So I'm going to need to just keep these compartmentalized here. I've been doing a bunch of drafters drafts. The hurricane brought a lot of wind damage or a lot of let's get DPJ over here. I'm not able to show you guys everything here. I need to figure this out so that I can present my huge monitor to you and not my small laptop screen. But we're dealing with this right now. So yeah, the hurricane arrived last night. It brought storm surge and whatnot, which like I'm not right on the beach, so that is not a big concern for me. I'm going to assume there is some damage. Ooh, feels real nice to get Luke Musgrave on this team too, where again it's tight end premium, so you can do some 4 tight end, 5 tight end, 6 tight end builds if you want. I've definitely gambled some teams in the past where I've pushed getting tight end and having to piecemeal it together. This site seems to really love running backs, like truly loves them. Where often, like you'll see guys like Tajay Spears went in the 12th round in this draft, Kareem Hunt went in the 16th round, Gus Edwards went in the 15th round. So I've tried some 0 RB teams here. Doesn't seem to be the best strat of not getting at least an anchor or 2. Most of these drafts are scheduled, meaning you jump in and it tells you what time they start. I think I'm going to get to 30 is my goal. My goal is to get 30 in, which honestly is like kind of a grind because as you can see, the regular drafts have 60-second pick clocks, which is truly awful. Like these drafts are so long. Like I enter a draft at midnight and next thing I know, it's like 1:30 a.m. and I'm just like putting guys in my queue and going to bed. The sit and goes, which very rarely fill, they are 30-second pick clocks. So that's why one of the clocks is 30 seconds and the other one is 19 seconds. I also like Gabe Davis usually goes in the 7th round. And I'm assuming this guy knows who I am and saw I took Josh Allen. So he just took Gabe Davis in the 5th round. The ADPs are pretty wild compared to regular sites. I debated not even like sharing any FFPC drafts on stream, trying to protect my watering well, if you would, but man of the people here. It is best ball. It is best ball. I'll bring up the format here in a second to you guys, or I'll just have to tell you it. I've been doing drafters drafts. I'm up to 146, so I'm going to stream my 150th drafters in a moment here. God, this is truly awful. Let's pull up the format here. Okay. So like kind of balanced builds for me on both, which makes thinking about everything pretty easy. Pretty comfortable being done at tight end with a Mark Andrews, Juwan Johnson, Luke Musgrave start. Also comfortable being done at tight end with a Kincaid, Njoku, Cade Otton start. On this one, I think we're just going to grab Zay Jones here as a wide receiver 5. You only need to start 2 wide receivers. It is 1 QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, 1 tight end. And so the math equation of only need to start 2 wide receivers each week versus 3 wide receivers really does kind of push you towards a balanced build, in my opinion. Not that I haven't tried some extreme builds because that's my style. All right. We'll probably get a 6th running back and be done here. This site loves running backs so much that Sean Tucker is a 18th round pick, but we're going to take him to finish up here. Lower owned guy, wasn't being drafted earlier in the draft cycle. How much is the buy-in on these? $125. If I wait until August 1st, you will get 3 drafters tickets. Brother, I'm not going to do that. I have 130 DraftKings $10 ones to get in. It is 1 point for PPR, 1.5 points for tight end receptions. They also have managed FFPC drafts. How are you guys feeling about the Colts running back? I think it's time. We got to talk about Jonathan Taylor. I have a pretty strong fade of Jonathan Taylor. I'm sorry to you if you have a big bag of him. That would not feel great, I imagine. We're going to take a 7th running back here. Because why not? We got Evan Hull and Sean Tucker, 2 high upside darts. I mean, Evan Hull, if you want to talk about how bad the market is, here's something that doesn't make sense. We know Jonathan Taylor is not playing for the first 4 games of the season. We also don't know if he's playing football this year at all. The market, the sharp market that can't be touched, does not regularly draft a Colts running back at all because people are afraid of guessing wrong. So that is not a great strategy to me. You should be definitely gambling on, not financial advice, but you should definitely be gambling on Evan Hull, Zach Moss, Deion Jackson, or free agent, really whoever you think is going to be the running back in Colts land. I mostly take Hull, rookie, athletic, had strong combine. Definitely could be Zach Moss. Broke his arm. Zach Moss is not that good. We got a new coaching staff, so I find him a tough click. He is I don't know. He's definitely in the mix to get the job. This site also seems to love QBs. Maybe I should have taken Sam Howell to stack with Jahan Dotson here. But hopefully another QB makes it back to us. God, this is really what's really throwing me off right now is my dual monitors used to always be like a drag to the right, drag to the left thing, and I just changed it to an up-down thing. And so just like the muscle memory of getting that in. I don't think you guys can see these draft boards that great, so let me try to work on that. God, that's pretty awful too. Well, whatever. We'll just have to recap it. One of them's about to finish, and then I can just main screen the other ones. One of them is in the 20th round. The other is in the 14th round. It's going to be a while for that one to finish. What is this degenerate stream? I love it. Welcome, brother. You're in a good place here. Yeah, so, I mean, I did take some Jonathan Taylor in the 5.55s, like 3 or 4 teams, just to kind of protect myself as a hedge in case he did land in Miami. The Jonathan Taylor saga is not over. He is either really injured in his ankle and or back, or he's going to get traded while on PUP, or he's going to get off PUP, then traded. I don't know. Your Fournette bags would love to see him become a Colt. I went on Leonard Fournette's Instagram the other day to try to figure out what's going on there, see if he looked out of shape or not. I don't know what Leonard Fournette usually looks like, so I don't know why I even bothered to do that. I don't think he looked terribly out of shape. I will also say, though, his Instagram was mostly like ads to like Shell Gasoline Company and Domino's. And I don't know if that fits the bill of a guy who's playing. Maybe that fits the bill of a guy who's trying to get his last cash cow before he's out of, you know, the name in the NFL. Is Jahan Dotson in the same tier as Ayuk and Deontay Johnson now? I would say so. For sure. This is the top tier analysis I subscribe for. Yeah, I mean, man, it's amazing what a little work for you can do in the best ball streets. Something as simple as looking at a player's Instagram. Which, like, some guys will tweet that out and get tons of interactions. We're going to finish this one up with Deontay Hardy. So, our team over here, I like it plenty. I'll recap in a second here. We did get screwed on Jordan Love for the stack as well. I don't know if I really feel like panic grabbing a QB if there's a player I like, but there's not. So, we're probably just going to take a QB here and backstack them. I'll recap that one and then close it for you in one moment here. So the one we're going to take Stafford to pair with Lamar as our QB2. Probably be done to 2 QBs. Could add a third. I do think Lamar's floor is a lot lower than the other elite quarterbacks. We all have this leap of faith with Lamar that he could be this year's Eagles, but we also need to recognize that, like, I don't know, like some good NFL defenses have slowed him in the past by just kind of playing zone. So, all right. This team, before I close it out, CMC, Devontae Adams. I'm not a big Devontae Adams guy, but, after Derrick Henry, after Mahomes, after Olave, after Mark Andrews, seems pretty fair. Josh Allen, Christian Watson, Ken Walker, Jahan Dotson, Jordan Addison, Dalton Kincaid, David Njoku, Traylon Burks, Rashad Penny, Tyler Algier, Sam Howell, Kendre Miller, Tyler Boyd, K. Dotton, DPJ, Sean Tucker, Evan Hull, Deontay Hardy. Seems good. Let's get it out of there. Let's make this one full screen for you. B's and G's. Let's get to some of these comments now. Don F says, can you give a minute or two on KJ Osborne? I'm seeing a bunch of vacated targets, a few splash games last season, a rookie everyone loves as his main target competition. This is all good. No. No, Don. I personally almost never draft KJ Osborne. I drafted him quite a bit last year. And look, random guys can perform in the playoff weeks and advance you, but I think KJ Osborne is one of the worst clicks on the board because what I'm assuming is, the target order goes Justin Jefferson, who gets a huge slice of the pie. Then a mix between Addison and TJ Hawkinson, and then KJ Osborne. The other concern is there's been some rumorings that they might play more 2 tight end in Vikings land because I forget the guy's name, Josh Oliver or something. They gave like a ton of money to this blocking tight end. His name is Josh Oliver. Yeah. They gave it like a big contract to Josh Oliver. And 3 years, $21 million to block. And so I think a lot of teams are going to play around with 12 personnel kind of as a counter to cover 2. 12 personnel makes the threat to run more legit. You get to see what NFL defenses do. Are they going to match your heavy personnel with base, in which case it makes passing nice? Or are they going to bring a safety down, which means they're not playing cover 2? And so what I assume happens in 12 is Addison on the outside, Jefferson on the outside, and Hawkinson's like the de facto slot wide receiver with Oliver, of course, blocking. And I don't know much about the Vikings O-line. I think they have, like, okay tackles, but there's some concerns there. Um, all right, what do we need here? I'd say another running back would feel nice. So I'll grab Chuba Hubbard here. Stafford, you can backstack too. This team is a Tyreek, Andrews, Lamar, Christian Watson, Ken Walker, J.K. Dobbins, Jahan Dotson, Brandon Cooks, Brian Robinson, Jalen Warren, Juwan Johnson, Luke Musgrave, Zay Jones, Matt Stafford, Chuba Hubbard. Start. So yeah, I think Osborne, one of the worst picks on the board. I am like, would be shocked if he plays ahead of Jordan Addison. Yeah, he goes around, as Johnny Football saying here, he goes around guys like Zay Jones and Tyler Boyd. So that's a no for me. Like, he's essentially the fourth pass catching target on the Vikings, where, I mean, just think through where we're drafting the fourth pass catching target on other teams. Now, does KJ Osborne have contingent upside? Yes, he does. Any player in a good passing offense does have contingent upside, where if Justin Jefferson gets hurt, what happens? You know, now wide receiver, of course, is more of a talent-based position. So Justin Jefferson gets hurt does not transform KJ Osborne into Justin Jefferson, of course. But, you know, can KJ Osborne play football in the NFL? Of course he can. In a 2 RB, 2 wideout, 1 tight end, 1 flex, would you try to draft for value or draft to complete the roster, even that means reaching a little bit on tight end and QB? If you're talking about a home league draft, Brian, I would really try to think through, like, how plugged in are your league mates? How bad is the ADP on the site you're playing? You know, I'm prone to think, and, you know, what size is your league, right? Like, I play in a 14-team league in my home league, which is much harder than a 12 league, right? Like, I've tried 0 RB in the past. It's pretty rough in a 14-teamer. But yeah, if you think you can outdraft your league mates, I would try to get elite talents at QB and tight end, kind of filling out the roster like you're saying. But depth is important, right? Like, if a guy gets hurt, you don't want your season to be over. Your Fournette bags would love to see him become a Colt. Maybe. I mean, like, Fournette still has outs. He also might not be in the NFL. Like, I saw a tweet today from Tom Pelissero about Kareem Hunt. This could be agent speak with Kareem Hunt. Worried about Hawk? Some bad vibes recently. I wouldn't say I'm worried about him. He was like a priority target for me. I'm still drafting him. I do think him and Waller are very similar assets. It is a little bit of just like price anchoring, where when a player rises a lot in ADP, I don't want to, you know, go overboard on them. But it sounds like, I don't know, on like one end, it sounds like his like ear problem, and then his he had the ear issue, and he had the, what's it called? Now he has, I don't know, some other minor injury, his ankle or something. And it sounds like, you know, like they traded for this guy. They gave up, I think, like a 3rd round draft pick or something. At the same time, sounds like Hawkinson wants to be the highest paid tight end in the NFL. They also have to pay Jefferson. So I'm not that worried. It would be really bad for the Vikings to not have Hawkinson on the field. I understand why Hawkinson would not want to risk getting hurt before he gets paid. He deserves to get paid. No, I don't think he's like as good as some of the elite tight ends, but I think his situation's pretty sweet. So that's why I like him.
You are right. Now,
I mean, this is just a pretty absurd price on MVS, wide receiver 73. If teams don't play Mahomes with as much cover too, which they kind of have stopped doing, and MVS runs a little bit better on touchdown luck, he could be a really strong smash. Especially if you are not impressed with their other wide receiver weaponry, which is like the Chiefs have a high upside wide receiver room, right? Like Kadarius Toney, Justin Ross, like these are upside guys, but there are significant questions on them too. You wish there was more of a dip on Hawkins and Price more? I mean, dude, he used to be a 3-4 turn pick in regular drafts. This is tight end premium again. And now he's a 5-6 pick. That's a significant discount. I mean, I would not expect him to like go to the Kyle Pitts range, which his price is pretty outrageous too. Like why Kyle Pitts is so cheap. By the way, ladies and gents, we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Really appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe here. Tomorrow, 5 p.m., Matthew Berry coming on the channel. Going to tweet out that soon. It's going to be an interview, so any questions you want to ask him, just follow my Twitter link. You can follow me on Twitter at Chesliam. Yeah, I agree. The vibes on Jonathan Taylor felt significantly different. Other news around the NFL, I believe Joe Burrow back at practice. There's no thumbnail on this one. We just ripped it live. I'm not getting tagged in here. A couple of my brand guys that other analysts are creeping in on. I'm not going to name any names, but true ones know. I'm not the loudest person on Twitter, and that's for a reason. Oh my God, this is so down bad. A Najee drafter just said, and y'all were taking him over Najee in reference to Jonathan Taylor. Yikes. Yikes. All right. We need some running backs. Pairing Kyron Williams with Matthew Stafford seems to make sense to me. Kyron Williams, presumed pass catching back. This is a great question from Chris. Has there been any news on Wandale? I mean, I think the recent news, I think Underdog had a blurred about it, is that he is going to be activated. I truly don't know what to do with him. Wow, Isaiah McKenzie got released by the Colts. It's pretty wheels up for Josh Downs, who was like a pretty priority late round click anyways. Cole Beasley to the practice squad. Joe Burrow back at practice. Let's see here. Wandale. Anyways, what I read somewhere was that Wandale is going to be activated soon. And I don't know, like, in some ways, Underdog tweeted out yesterday he's to be activated off the PUP list. Like, this is a guy who saw a lot of targets with Daniel Jones in some games last year. But, you know, Hyatt and Campbell play slot. They're also going to run quite a bit of 12 personnel with Daniel Bellinger on the field. So I wouldn't say Paris Campbell's been like a priority click as is. I draft Paris Campbell somewhat in giant stacks. Obviously, like him better in PPR. Paris Campbell's like kind of good at football. People forget that. He's just had some bad injury luck. Wandale's good too, though. It's just kind of like a stay away. Like, we're definitely getting rug pulled on some of these Giants wide receivers. I draft a lot of Darius Slayton as just kind of like the outside deep threat. I drafted a lot of Hodgins too. Those guys seem a little bit more safer to me as outside wide receivers. But I don't know what's going on with the slot. It's also what makes drafting Paris Campbell harder because Hyatt wants to be in the slot. Giants to trade one of these guys, Slayton, Hyatt, Campbell, Robinson. Well, Hyatt is for sure not getting traded. Slayton's not getting traded either. Like, no one's trading for a veteran like that who's like has a great rapport too. Campbell's also not getting traded. He just got signed this year. You don't sign a guy and then trade him that year. And like no one's trading for Paris Campbell. Wandale could be traded. I think it's a little bit unlikely too with him though, because you have him on this rookie cost controlled contract. So I don't know. Gaskin could win the number 2 job in Minnesota. Did he get signed by the Vikings? I thought you were going to say the Dolphins, but he got cut. I mean, Myles Gaskin's flashed in the past. Obviously, that makes like Ty Chandler's either a great pick or not. Yeah, it looks like they did add him. How should I finish up this team? Are there any quarterbacks I want? Baker is there. I don't have any Bucks, so that's probably a no. One, two, three, four, five, 6 running backs. Probably want some more firepower there. We're going to gamble on Evan Hull on this one. I mean, I've seen Evan Hull go in like the 14th round in some drafts. I think Hull, Jackson, and Moss are all good picks right now. I think you can even draft 2 of them together on the same team. What up, Mythology? Yeah, Brian Flores is the defensive coordinator for the Vikings. Don't know why that matters. I mean, he's going to blitz a lot, which is going to get the Vikings in shootouts. Oh, you're saying the Gaskin connection there? Potentially. Mythology's on the Wandale season. Wandy season. How much JT does Liam have? Very little. I talked about that at the top. Like 1 team on Underdog. 5 or so teams in the DK 555. One of them auto drafted. The other ones is just kind of like hedges very late. Do I think Hunt to Indy is a lock now? No. Again, like what we're hearing is that Kareem Hunt has all these options. Maybe true. I thought he was pretty cooked last year. So I don't know. He could be the starter there too. And if you think it's Kareem Hunt, go for it. We're going to take Darius Slayton over here. So we have a 2 QB, 7 RB, 7 wide receiver build right now. 3 tight end. Probably going to be done at running back, just counting on the strength of Walker, Dobbins, Robinson, Warren, with getting some games mixed in from Chuba and Kyron and hopefully Evan. And we'll probably take one last player. Not a fan of Zach Wilson, I hear from your Twitter. I don't, dude. I've been watching these Hard Knocks, and it's like people are giving him a hard time about the headband. He's like, no. I need this headband to keep the hair out of my eyes. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? I mean, this is absurd. Yeah, if true. Offering Jonathan Taylor for Waddle, like, of course that was never happening. We haven't learned a ton from Hard Knocks. I mean, one of the wide receivers on the Jets roster, Brownlee, I don't even think he's in the player pool for the Jets. This Gibson guy is. Very true, Tyler. That's the type of trade that one guy in your fantasy league always offers. Yeah, like, I'll give you JT for Jamar Chase after the suspension. What were we doing drafting JT 101 last year over some of the elite wideouts? I mean, I wasn't drafting a lot of JT last year. I had a little bit, you know. Very rarely I'm going to full fade the 101. I soft faded him, though. I don't think JT not being a Colt is that bad for Richardson either. I think arguably it could be good for Richardson. Kincaid is plus 4,000 for Rookie of the Year. That's fun. It's kind of hard for a tight end to win it, especially in a class with Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, anytime you have these running backs go super high, I like Kincaid mostly because he has tight end eligibility. But yeah, I mean, a healthy Bijan is winning that. Also, like, you got Bryce Young, you got CJ Stroud, you got Richardson. Like, if Richardson gets the Colts to the playoffs, is he not Rookie of the Year? How is he not? Like, close your eyes. 1,500 rushing yards for Richardson. Enough passing. They make the playoffs. You know. Whose girlfriend is this, Mathology? Whose girlfriend is this? I know mythology well, and I know he knows people's girlfriends. Is this Kincaid's? Is this Richardson? Fine, I'll Google it. Who does Chloe Barrett date? Wan'Dale Robinson. All right. That's why mythology likes Wan'Dale Robinson. It's Chloe Barrett. Mind of a generation there. Vadim saying he had a best ball draft yesterday where a guy took JT in the third after the news broke. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty classical. Pretty classic FFPC. I don't know anything about the auction streets, Derek, but I've never done one. Sounds like a fun puzzle, though. All right, we're going to draft Tutu Atwell to stack with Matthew Stafford. Tyreek Hill, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson. So we got that Miami-Baltimore game stacked up. Watson, Ken Walker, J.K. Dobbins, Sean Dotson, Brandon Cooks, Brian Robinson, Jalen Warren, Juwan Johnson, Luke Musgrave, Zay Jones, Matthew Stafford, Chuba Hubbard, MVS, Kyron Williams, Evan Hull, Darius Slay, and Atwell. So obviously need Lamar to be very good this year for this team. Need Stafford to do enough. If he is not, feel strong enough at tight end. Feel pretty good at running back with the quality of the 4 and then some 3 darts. Wide receiver, I'm pretty fine at. Again, I only need 2 a week. There are 2 starting spots and 2 flexes, but some like Spike Week guys in Zay, MVS, Slayton, Atwell, and then, a stud in Tyreek, Watson, we're all optimistic on, or most of us. Dotson, first round rookie last year. Cook should have like a resurgence year with Dak. And so, yeah, feel pretty good about this team. Would you rather have $1 million in pennies or $100 million worth of ice cream? Can I sell the ice cream? Does it just like plop down on my doorstep? What does $100 million in ice cream even look like? Let's say the ice cream is made of like diamonds and gold, and that's why it's so expensive, and it's not that big. In that case, I'd take that. If you're wondering what the structure of this tournament is, I'm going to tell you that. It is... This site's not the most advanced in the world. It's very top heavy, like a lot of tournaments out there. I think the rake's pretty high in this too. I'm not sure. I know the rake on their managed contest is like pretty absurd, but in this, maybe not too bad. All right. So it's weeks 1 through 14, total points to advance. So normal best ball. Top 2 advance. After that, in the quarterfinals, top 2 out of... Okay, so top 2 out of 12 advance in week 15. So pretty hard to advance. Week 16, top 3 out of 12 advance. And then if you make the finals, it is a 72-person final with $1,500 cash, or like they do this a lot where they want you to take tickets. $200K to first, $10K to fifth. So really top heavy. If you're not winning this, it's like hard, like $75K to second, $25K to third. 10th place gets $4,000. That is 2% of first place. That's pretty absurdly top heavy. So, yeah, I mean, you really got to win this to make it worth it. So, whatever you think to better give yourself a chance to actually win in week 17. I think the prizes are like decent, where if you do a bunch, you'll get some cash back. But I don't know. I've never really drafted a bunch of teams here. Yeah, not the best structure in the world. All right, guys, we're just going to cut it here for now, do a short one. I need to get some lunch here. Might be back for my drafters drafts. Again, I did not plan this Buffalo. It's just the random background today. We'll be back for some drafters drafts. Of course, some more underdog drafts coming down the pipeline. And tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, Matthew Berry coming on for an interview. So look out for that tweet, and you can ask any questions. And if I like your question, I'll work it into asking him. Peace out, guys.